So I'm not good for very much, but I'm excellent at being a lazy bum, and that comes to when I'm listening to music as well. And this is exactly where the Lotoo PAW S1 comes in. This is Ash from PPTV. Let's get started. Lotoo shouldn't be a foreign name in 2021. They were one of the first companies after Sony and Estelle & Kern to open up the DAP market with their cult success, the Lotoo PAW Gold, which was succeeded by the 2018 Lotoo PAW Gold Touch. Last year, Lotoo entered the DAC-AMP market with the Lotoo PAW S1, a USD 169 little device that can honestly do quite a lot. It's honestly quite multifunctional. But for something so new and honestly kind of pricey in an established playing field, where do the PAW S1's strengths and weaknesses lie, and how does it measure up to its counterpart? Today we are exploring the S1's functions, who it's for, how it sounds, and maybe a little section on my personal opinions. Okay, let's go. The Lotoo PAW S1's major draw lies in its 4.4mm balanced output, which comes right alongside a 3.5mm single-ended output as well as a standalone amp section. It's also very tiny for how powerful it is, just a little bit larger than some of the older USB thumb drives. When you purchase it, it comes in two options. Number one is a Type-C to Type-C cable for most Android phones, as well as a Type-C to Lightning cable for iPhones. You have to pay a little bit more for the Lightning cable, but this also means that anyone from Android to Apple users can use the PAW S1. However, another thing to note is that the PAW S1 can be a little bit picky about which OTG cable it uses, so it might be worth it to fork a little bit extra more for a cable that you know will work. Now, convenience and size aside, how does it perform? The S1, much like its predecessors, the PAW Gold Touch and the PAW Gold, has absolutely no background noise at all. It is dead silent in its background. It also has a higher resolution and comes across as cleaner, more dynamic, with a wider range than most of its counterparts like the trailblazing Dragonfly Red. This might be due to the fact that the S1 contains a separate amp section that allows it to drive most earphones exceedingly competently. With an output power of 70 mW per channel at 32 ohms for its single-ended output, and an output power of 120 mW per channel at 32 ohms for its 4.4 balanced output, it can drive most earphones and even cans in a pretty competent manner. That said, it is a $169 USD device that has $169 worth of juice, so if you know that you have a pair of cans that is pretty hard to drive, let's just not try. The PAW S1 also has 16 DSP filters as the time of me writing this script. This you can toggle using the plus and minus buttons on the side of the PAW S1. This will show up on the tiny screen in front along with things like the volume, bitrate, and gain. It's nothing very fancy, but it does let you customize your sound to a pretty large extent. So you know what's really a bummer? It's when I pay extra for a product and the manufacturer leaves me high and dry by not releasing any firmware updates or bug fixes. But Lotoo is not like this. Lotoo is extremely religious in releasing their firmware updates and bug fixes, including a recent one in January that makes Lotoo MQA compatible. MQA is a way to digitally capture and store master recordings in smaller, more convenient files that has caught on in recent times. There's also a whole other conversation surrounding the nature of MQA, and to that I've added some perspectives in the description. You can go and take a look at that if you'd like. That said, having the Lotoo PAW S1 is a surefire way to be able to take full advantage of your paid streaming apps like Tidal. Just as an extra note, you'd need a specialized music player if you're using files on your Android phone as your music source. I personally recommend USB Audio Player Pro, which is a paid app that you can download off Google Play Store. The iPhone, on the other hand, has internal MQA support that you can access using a DAC like the PAW S1. So, personal thoughts. Being a female, I don't really like to travel with a very heavy bag, and this means that I often can get very lazy to bring an extra DAP or a large DAC-AMP out with me, and it's in this situation where I realize how convenient the PAW S1 is. It's powerful for sure, but I won't go as far as to say that it can run very demanding headphones, but it's certainly fun to be able to use some of your more power-hungry earphones with your handphone. If Ang Pao Money can buy you happiness, this is probably it. And if you're the one who's been giving out ang paos this Chinese New Year season, I'm sure you need something to patch up the gaping hole in your soul. This is also it. Thank you for watching PPTV. Be sure to like and subscribe and leave us a comment out of the goodness of your hearts, because it makes us very happy to know that the content that we're making is being well received. That's Ash signing off. See you next week. Bye-bye. I was almost there. Okay, never mind. Keep it rolling. This might